Welcome to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Nilaus. This is episode 35 of our Let's Play campaign. So you would think that I would be complete now that we have our beautiful science facility up and running. We have, if we look at our science, it's running at 27,000 hashes per second. And just a question from people about how this works. Well, all right, first I'll do the intro and then I'll come back to just describing how we calculate that. So we are done with this project. What are we going to do now? Well, there are three big things, I guess, that we still want. One is I want to start working on, well, this is the science part. The other big part of the game is the Dyson Sphere. So what I want to do now is actually scale up the construction of solar sails. We have 120 per second. I think that's pretty good. But also rockets, like rocket, lots of rockets. Rockets are super expensive, so that's going to be a massive project. So we're going to start on rockets. The other thing is, well, the science, and probably also when we start rockets, is going to burn through a lot of our stockpile, and then we are going to have to go back and figure out that, oops, we don't have enough, I don't know, organic crystals or something. And I really like that part where start by theoretically designing everything, and then afterwards we go back and figure out that, oh, when everything's running we don't have enough power, or all those things, that sort of the bottlenecks that we're chasing there. That's gonna be an interesting stage as well, and we'll be working on that just to make sure that everything flows. But the next big project is going to be the equipment we need for a big Dyson Sphere, and that will be rockets. So rockets is what we want to engage with right now. The last thing I want to, while we're here, what I was just hinting at, is this part. It's 27k hashes. So there's a lot of confusion about, so how fast do these work and how do I get all these ratios? And I think you can deduce everything. Everything can be calculated. If you look at this one is working at 300 hashes per second. It is by default working at 60 hashes if you don't have any upgrades. Then this one is taking 60 hashes per second. That's just the crafting speed of one of these. But you have research speeds, I have research speed 500. So it's actually going to go up here to 300 hashes per second. What does that mean? Well, that means it's going to take 3 seconds to consume one universe matrix. It doesn't say anywhere that it's worth 900, because you can't really see that anywhere except by looking at the 61.2 million hashes divided by 68,000, and then what you get is 900. So one white cube is worth 900, and that's the case for all of these except for research speed. For some reason, research speed, you get 1800 hashes for one, so it's going to work at different rate. Weird, but since I'm not going to touch this one, I might get it up to 10, but I don't think I want to. It's definitely either 5 or 10, but nothing in between is interesting. So that's how you calculate it, and therefore you just say, okay, so if each one is 300 hashes per second, then in order for us to, that means one white every 3 seconds, then I need 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, 60 of those, then I get 20. What? 15. Oh yeah, they're 15 high. Yeah. So 6 times, this is 30 divided by 1 every 3 seconds, then, well, with 1 every 3 seconds, that's 10 plus 10 plus 10. So this is what they consume, and that's how you basically calculate it. So we are going to go out in the world and find a location. So what we really want to find is a boring location, somewhere that hasn't been doing anything for us, somewhere that only has like bad materials that we don't really care about for anything else. Now the thing is, I've already found one of those locations. It's on the algal system. If you recall, algal system is where we have our organic crystals. So it's a very nice system, but there are multiple planets here, and we only came here for the organic crystal harvesting. So that's fine, but we'll now go to one of the other planets. So I will see you guys there. Yeah, and we are now arriving on this planet, or this location. I'm gonna find algal 1. Right, that's not 1, that's 1. Ah, there you are. Okay, no problem. There. Boring planet. Nothing interesting. Someone has had the decency to actually establish a temple of effectiveness here, so we are effective from the first time we land here. I think we actually tapped a few coal mines here as well. We went here just to... Yeah, I went here and then I wanted to do something, and then I realized, yeah, well, maybe I'm not going to do it. Because it's not really very interesting. I love the fact that I'm mining out the coal, which is the only irrelevant thing here. Stone is irrelevant, titanium, I don't think it's relevant, copper and iron, not really relevant. This is a boring planet. I can pave the world if I want to, because don't care about any of this. But I went here, and then I think I had a plan, and then I just abandoned that plan. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to get some concrete, I'm pretty sure. It's probably a good idea to get some concrete. That's over here. Always get some concrete. Okay, so let's see. I want to build... So we should look at how... Oh, that's not real concrete. This is real concrete. There we go. Let's just get this one tapped. Oops. And let's clear this out so it looks like it's on purpose. Here we go. Alright, let's look at what we need for the rockets, because you'd want to make a lot of rockets and then you realize how much it takes, and then you start scaling down your ambitions. So this one takes 2 of the nodes, the Dyson Sphere components. They are the most expensive thing we can actually build. These ones take 3 frames, and so already now we are up to 6 frames for each rocket. In each frame takes years. So if I want to build 60 frames per second, then I can make 20 I'm gonna call these nodes, send more nodes, 20 per second, and then I can make 10 rockets per second. 10 rockets per second doesn't even seem like much. But 10 rockets per second is actually quite a lot, because when I'm going to build it, I'm going to start letting it stockpile, and when it's stockpiling, that means when we start shooting, remember, if I make a perimeter all around the equator, I can only shoot 8.3 per second. So it's going to be, my idea is that I'm going to be stockpiling a lot of rockets, and then when I start shooting, I'll be shooting with, I don't know, maybe 20 per second. That would be lovely. So we definitely need to make some kind of build here, and I think I'll start with this one. And if I want to make it big enough, then that's good here. And I'll put that in here. Okay, so this one is made. We are going to make the frame materials first, and we want to make 60 per second. So let's just look at this. Frames 60 per second. So this is also now it's going to be interesting. That means we need 60 of the titanium alloys. We don't have that, and we need 240 more nanotubes. We certainly do not have that. So those are going to be things that we will eventually need to scale up to keep this well fed and happy. I think 60 silicon is probably something we'll just have, I guess. And yeah, so right now we'll just build it, and it'll probably just be building everything and be fine, but it won't be able to do a sustained build. So that's going to be another challenge. This will be pretty... Well, I'm going to make sure that there's more... Yeah, okay, I have a plan already. So the plan is... Plan is first to set them up here. Nanotubes, titanium alloy, silicon, the finished product, the frames, and here. Now, I want to make sure that we only have one lane feeding into this. And that means the middle one will then be a return line. And this one will also be here. Weird that it just doesn't want to do that. There we go. Alright, and then I have a feeling that I have to make it real close, really close, really close. That, like this close. Yep. And then I have the 2 other ingredients on the outside. There. Here. And I will then have more nanotubes. Again, nanotubes can only feed one line, and then we'll have this one as return. That's returning here. Let's do it on the same way as on the other side. I am going to take this one inbound, and we'll build this. And then I see a problem that is, I mean, it's not insurmountable, but it certainly is annoying. We'll just do that and don't tell anyone about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty sound setup. Let's make sure we have all of our inserters set up correctly. Let's see, this is in, out, in, out, in, out. Let's see, in, out. Yes. All right, so how far do we want to reach this? I think we're gonna reach it all the way to this one minus one tile. And autosave. Autosave should be faster. This is also why I'm starting on a Dyson Sphere now, because the save size should be slightly reduced. It's reduced by about 25%, so it's something. It's not, certainly not nothing, but it's also like not as massive as you could have hoped. Anyway, let me build this for us, and then we can come back and see it. And we are back with this. Let's see if this works. So you got your standard builds by now that you know that if you build in this one, then it can take 30 of these assemblers next to each other and then still be within. That's why I wanted it to be so damn close to the edge here. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to request all the things we want, and then I'm just hoping that it works. What I should do first is always make sure that we have just a bit of this. Let's go like that. Just put a bit of it in so we are absolutely sure we have some. Cool. And then we can just do local request. It's kind of silly to do that because I don't have it locally. I don't have any of these locally, so I'm just gonna set them up like this and then see if we get everything. We get everything. Nice. Okay, so once we have this one, we can start building it. I am going to start working on the next one while we wait for this to come in. So I think I'm gonna just go down here, not because I need particularly more room, but simply because I think I will. Do I feel like I want more room? Well, I think I'll build it here. I mean, I don't think I need more room, but I don't think I want to have them right next to each other. I don't think I needs to be so cramped on this planet. So let's build a little thing here. And we'll see about that one. So this is an 10 tile. Oh, and they're coming in now. I don't want to build that one. I'll build this one. All right, they are coming in. At least some of them. Not surprisingly, the carbon nanotube is the ones furthest away, so that's going to take a bit longer to get here. They are coming all the way from Acellus Primus, and that planet is probably going to be scaled up for this purpose. Right, so the next thing I want is the nodes. So let's just get a... Okay, that's weird to do that. Here, I'll get a node there. So note, what are we going to do here? We need 3 of these. And yeah, it's going to be a really awkward number. Because it takes 3 per 8 second. And yeah, so I need 20 of these. 20 per second. That means if I make... Yeah, if I make 4 by 20 by 2, as in 4 rows, I like 4 rows, and then make 20 deep, then I make 15 per second. And then 2 of that, this makes 20 per second. That's too much, but you know, I gotta do that. Wait, look at that. They're huffing and puffing. They're working. All right. And not surprisingly, this one's gonna be in very, very short supply. It might not even be able to keep up, but yeah, we just need more than. Yeah, so this one is also pretty good. Let's see if I can figure out how I want this. This one is very even. It's just the same things inbound, outbound. So again, we go back to a standard build. They'll get this one. We'll get some solar sails. We'll get some processors. Oh, that's interesting things we need here. And that will be the nodes going out, and it will be some warpers going in. All right, so that's all 5 of these. That's looking good. That's like the standard one. If you have 3 inputs and 1 output, then this fits perfectly. So what are we going to do? We are going to just simply take any single one of these out. Could be that one. We could take the next one. That's going to be solar sails out here. And then I'm going to take this. Let's make it here. We have plenty of room on this level. We need fewer, and we should probably have changed these, but well, what can you do? What can you do? All right, so then I'm gonna get on this side some processors out, and then some return here. That means, do I also want processors out like this? And then I don't know what I'm doing. This doesn't seem reasonable. Yeah, I need it is actually somehow correct. For some reason I can't place these on a straight line. There. And we just get the last outputs on this side. And at this point we can also just start getting a sense of, yeah, you know, things are kind of similar with these builds. For better or for worse. You know what, just for consistency's sake, I think I want this one to be here. There we go. Like this. And then we need inbounds, outbounds, or in, out, in, out. Yes. And in, out, in. Yes, like that. All right. So again, we build it, and once you build it, we can set it up. Yep. And that is another one done. Now let's do the same thing for this one again. We are going to, hook this up. Local and there. I don't want to send any of mine in here because, well, that's not going to work. We will have this on a local, so I'm actually not going to request it remotely. The other ones I will request remotely, so here. The reason why I'm not doing anything yet is I wanted this one to be here. That is now there, so I'm going to be requesting and requesting and requesting. And it wouldn't surprise me if very soon we're going to run out of the processors, because I'm overstraining it here. Yeah, the fact that I can only pick up 6,000 is kind of indicating that there might be a problem at some point. Right, so we have this one. Well, what we've done now is I've made 30 per second of this and 20, let's pretend it's only 15, but 20 of these, no, no, 15 per second. And all I need to do is now make a little square in between, I guess. And that one will be making rockets. And then from there on, I have rockets. Woohoo! Except maybe, you know, it's kind of not really correct because, yeah, because I don't have all the materials to support it. But that doesn't matter. We'll that's gonna be. I actually really like running out of things if I do it on purpose. If I just overstrain my base in Factorio, for example, then I want to see where I run out. And that's I think that's really rewarding in some way, just to say, all right, now we're running out of that. Okay, so let's scale that up. I like that. It's just chasing it. It's not really the correct way to do it in a logistics sense. It's not how we've done it with science. In science, we've been doing everything up front, and then only when we have everything, we've hooked it up. But we'll do it a bit different here and just strain the base. Yeah, these are not going to work at all. I think I have enough quantum chips, but I'm sure that I don't have enough deuterium fuel. But that's going to be, well, an upcoming thing we want to do. So what is this? 222 for one of these, and that's going to be 6 on a 6-second cycle. So if for every 4 I make, I'm going to make 1 per second. And I want to make 10 per second. So do I need 40 assemblers? Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't that make it exactly the same as the other one? Alright, so this one will be nodes, and then deuterium fuel, and then quantum chips here. And that becomes rockets. And again, perfect fit. Let's see if I can just make it exactly like this one. Nodes here. Deuterium next. And this one, rocket. And then I take, okay, hold on. Quantum. And then we take the return here. And I need one more. You're not welcome anymore. And this is then going to be deuterium. And I'll get on the back side the nodes. And on the other side, I will get... hold on. I did this. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I did it because I feel that I needed the space. Okay. And this one will then be nodes. And the other one will be deuterium fuel. Yes. And now I feel like a bit of an idiot for doing it one tile off to the side. I should obviously have moved the whole thing one over the other side. And now magically, whoosh, it is back on the correct side. So just moved it one over so it's close to the edges, but not sort of hugging any of the edges, because it doesn't need to be hugging any edges here. That's good. Let's put the power in here, and that's gonna be in and in, and in, out, in, out, in, in, in. it's super complicated because of the low frame rate. I am looking at these going backwards. The frame rate is tanking quite a bit. All right, I just need 10 of these. So let's. Is that really something we really would need to do anything about? Okay, let's see. Didn't I just make that? No. This is correct. So I make these here. All right. So what are we gonna do from here? I can do this. It doesn't take much time. So we'll just talk our way through this so that we can do the planning of what I want to do next time. So what is it I want to do based on this? We are going to run out of pretty much everything here, because quantum chips are now being overconsumed. That's why I built additional quantum chips, but I don't think I have enough. We definitely run out of processors. We definitely run out of deuterium. We definitely run out of nanotubes. We definitely run out of titanium alloys. So that's pretty, I don't know, interesting, I guess. And we need this one to be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all there is to it. Not much more than that. So when we come back with the next episode, I mean, aside from finding a location where we want to make a glorious giant sphere, I'm kind of leaning more towards the three options I had, and I asked in Twitch chat, was either we do it on a red giant because it looks awesome, we do it on a blue giant because that's the most power, or we do it on a black hole because it looks awesome. I mean, again, remember, the point here is that I don't need the power, so optimizing for power is completely irrelevant. I should be optimized for aesthetics and just for the hell of it, and that's why I think I'm gonna go for this. I wanted to go for the red giant because it looks good, and I don't think I've seen anyone else do red giants. But I just look at the red giant planets we have around here, and I don't. There are lots of them actually only have like moons where you can build on. Lots of them. I think they have 2 red giants. So that I can't launch from a moon because it's gonna be it's gonna have an illogical rotation because it's rotating around a planet that rotates around the moon, that rotates around the sun. So the rotation is just gonna be weird. The other thing is that so the planets were not particularly interesting. So I think we're gonna go for the black hole because why not? Why not? It's silly, so let's do that. What we want here is we want to again do this, and let's get this one in first. And we are going to request this local because, well, that's kind of what we do. This one global and this one global. Yeah. So the term is not going to work. We are not going to get any of these built because we don't have deuterium. But that's great because that means this is going to be another topic for us. The deuterium fuel. Let's look at it. It's again titanium. Supermagnet rings are okay. The titanium alloys might actually be something we definitely need to look at. So I think the objective for the next one would be finding a way to get more titanium alloy and also figure out how to do the deuterium fuel. That makes a lot of sense. This one is actually getting quite a decent amount. And I think the reason is the just lack of outputs here. What I also want to do, and this is just a really silly thing, how close can I make it? I can make it like this. There. So the thing is, I want to have a stockpile, but stockpiling things into crates when they stack to 10 is just awful. That means I can only have 300 in one of these big crates. In the crate. That's not much, right? Or maybe it has those 60 slots, so it has 600 each. That is a lot. 10, yeah. So if I just build it in here, then I know that I can store 10,000 in this one, and I think that's good. So 10,000, and I'm also going to put some warpers in this, and some of these. So this just means that when it starts flowing in here, it'll flow in and fill up this one first and then fill up this one. So I have now a storage of 20,000 rockets that will eventually work. But of course it won't work right now because, well, we don't have the deuterium fuel. And I don't think we can get the deuterium fuel up and running just now, because that's a longer process, and we've already built like these 3 builds. What I want to do though is probably want to double it, right? Yeah, let's make sure we double it. That's at least a good thing to do. And so it has been doubled, just like that. We have doubled it by just building another one out here. That's another 20. I know, it's slightly overbuilt. And then over here, building another quadrant here. And that's another 30 of these, plus 30, that's 60, plus goes into this one, plus that one, which gives us, let's say 30. It's slightly overbuilt, but it's symmetrical, and I like that. Then goes in here, and you can see it's actually huffing and puffing, because over time, we are actually getting a bit in here. So we are now making rockets. Woohoo! We're making rockets. Isn't it awesome? We are making rockets for, and that's this is gonna stack up to 20,000 rockets. And the thing is, like, 20,000 rockets is a decent amount. It's not good enough to our sphere. I think that the other spheres we've made, and they're not even complete, they've been more like 40,000 or something. So I think I want to stack up like maybe 100,000 rockets, just so that when we start shooting, then we know we're not gonna run out. It's also something I would recommend in a game like this, is that you would actually just something like this, which you use in high quantities for short bursts of time. Just build a buffer. Just put it in a buffer, make sure that it's fine, and then you can move on. When you start using it, you can burn through your buffer quite rapidly. It's basically like how I built all of the stuff for my hub. Like, many of these things are long crafting times, like this. So you go like, oh, 100 of these for every planet. Doesn't matter, because over time you will just slowly build up the buffer. So in this case, buffers are actually okay. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. We have made a big stride forward, but we've done it on thin ice, because we know that everything else in the base is gonna run out. So we're gonna have to look at deuterium. We're gonna have to look at titanium alloy. We're gonna have to look at nanotubes. So there's tons more things to do, and on top of that, we have to find a planet and set up a launcher for it, and then we have some other projects as well along the way. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series as it progresses and gets into the sort of the very late game. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then consider subscribing. I have a feeling that everyone who's watching has already subscribed, so thank you very much for that. Not really getting new subscriptions coming in. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and be sure to let me know ideas for tutorials and that kind of thing. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.